Hi, thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. I'm Zach Randles-Friedman. I have officially gone into my second year of my podcast. I've been doing this for 2 years now. I've done, how many episodes have I done? 170 maybe. And yeah, I feel like it's a milestone. It feels really great. And it really made me kind of like step back and think about my earlier episodes that I've done. So, when I first started doing this podcast, I started doing this podcast because I did a podcast for a corporate job I had. I left it. It was kind of an internal podcast. A couple episodes made it external, but it was more that. It's funny, before I started doing that podcast, I hated seeing myself on camera. I hated hearing my voice. And I had to listen to these podcasts that I did for this corporate job I had at one point. And because I had to edit them and I had to listen to them and make sure that they were, good and approved and all this. And it was so painful because, your voice never really sounds the same to you as it does to other people. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't really want to do the podcast. I ended up doing it. Then when I left that job, I don't know, I had an idea maybe I'll try to do my own little podcast. And it was I had friends on for my first season of the podcast. And, I think I had interesting things we were talking about. And my husband and I did the first episode together, just talking about how we've been together for, I guess at the time it was 25 years and all the 18 moves that we've done together, or it was 17 at that time, to different parts of the world and country and stuff. And so all the adventures we had, and that went good. And I had my friend Jennifer on, and, we talked about, I don't even remember what our subject we're talking about. And so, and then, I was trying to get guests, and, it was a struggle because no one knew anything about my podcast. And, I kind of reflect back about my interviewing style back then. And I don't even like the quality. I was doing the editing myself. I'm an okay editor. But I'm lucky enough to have somebody do the editing for me now that is a professional editor. And I just it's so hard to go back now and look at those podcasts and look at the subjects I was talking about and how I would not interrupt people, but would I interrupt them? I guess I kind of would. I was saying, yeah. Like I was agreeing with everything they were saying or just acknowledging them. And so throughout the podcast, the early podcast, I would say, yeah, like 1,000 times. And it was just something completely different back then. And my interview style has changed, and I want to make sure that people come on my podcast and they feel comfortable. And I'm also getting more choosy and picky on who I invite to my podcast because, I'm fortunate enough now to have people that really want to come on my podcast. And I've just went through, I think, 76 emails this week of people pitching to come into my podcast. So that was pretty amazing to have that many people. Unfortunately, a lot of them kind of are, it was like a CEO of a company, of a startup company that wants to come in and talk about their leadership style. It's like, that's not a fit for my podcast. So, but then there were some really interesting people. So I got a mix, but it's nice that people are coming to me wanting to be in my podcast now. And I don't have to go out and actually look for people all the time. Even though when I'm on TikTok, I still do look. If I find somebody interesting or on Instagram, I will reach out to them and say, come on my podcast. There's a guy I'm trying to work on right now to schedule him to come on, him and his partner. And, I found him on TikTok. He came up in my feed and I thought he was interesting. And so we'll see what happens. And it really kind of helped me discover like this podcast has changed my views on things and who I am. And just, I never really kind of thought of myself of being this like gay voice in the community. And now that I have this podcast and I have my Listen Up Girl podcast, which is LGBTQ plus news, I mean, I do have a voice in the LGBTQ plus community. And I don't say my political opinions on this show very often, but my LGBTQ plus news podcast, Listen Up Girl, I do make comments about the news and make my position on how I feel about it known. But it really is more about me reporting LGBTQ plus news and bringing it all in one place. And that podcast has been going for, I think October was a year. So we're coming up in a year and a half soon on that podcast. And, I like doing them both. I love talking with people and telling their stories, but I also love telling the news and making people feel informed. And that way they don't have to scroll through social media and different websites and find fake news. I try to go through and make sure all the news that I'm getting is all real news and it's not AI news or it's fake or, whatever. So that's where I'm at. 2 years. I've hit 2 full years of this podcast and I'm very proud of it and I'm very happy of it. And I thank everybody again for listening and leaving comments and, please leave more comments. Please leave more ratings on it. And if you have ideas, follow me on Instagram, The Real Zach RE on Instagram, and tell me some topics you'd like to hear. I have a couple of people that do that and give me topic ideas, and I try to look for those type of guest people. My guest today has done some things with a lot of people and who are tried to figure out who they are. They want to know what happens after death. They want to find themselves. And he is a yogi guru, and I had a great conversation with him, and he has he went through a lot in his life to get where he was. And you'll hear his entire story about who he is. And, feel free to reach out to him. I'll put his information on how to reach out to him and his team in the description of this video or podcast. But he was a great guest, and I'm glad I got to talk with him. So enjoy the podcast. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything in a Bit Gay podcast. I have a guest today that I am so excited and honored to have on. He has guided thousands of people through their deepest struggles, and it is an honor to have him on. And I have so many questions for him. Welcome to the show, Guruji.
Thank you.
So tell me, I have so many questions because I think what you're doing is so amazing and so unique. And I just want to know, what questions do people ask you the most when they finally have time to sit down with you?
They used to ask me, or almost all people ask me, how you manage your life. Like usually I start from early morning and end up now it's almost 8:30 in the evening. Okay. My day started around 5:30.
Wow.
It is going to be 8:30.
Yeah.
People ask me from where you get this energy, how you are, dealing with all this complicated situation. I am a businessman in India. So I'm going through many ups and downs and challenges, but I face it with a smiling face. People ask me, what is the secret of your energy and happiness? This is what mostly people are asking.
So let's step back and talk about your history. So you spent 4 years in a forest meditating, and you decided to come back and help people. Walk me through what your history is.
I was a hyperactive child from the beginning.
Okay.
And I had extra energy. And my father was an Ayurveda physician and a Vedic scholar, Indian traditional philosophy.
Okay.
So when he recognized my extra energy, instead of punishing me, he put me in a martial art school where I studied this Indian traditional martial art called Kalari, which is Basically, it is well aligned with yoga. So I was a good student. And then when I reached to my high school level, I was taken into karate. I became a black belt. Then I was a boxer, a bodybuilder, dancer, many things I did. I used my body through all rhythmic but violent arts and martial arts. I didn't know why I was into that, but later, when I grew enough to understand the secrets and the nuances of life, I came to know every violence will slowly take it to a silence. This was a turning point in my life. So I wanted to explore the potential and the possibility of being in silence. I started enjoying my own silence and loneliness. So that was a turning point. Then I went to the forest for finding more, dimensions of the violence of the silence. There I experienced how a controlled mind can go beyond the limitations of our intellect, how to obliterate the boundaries of our mind. Then I came to know what infinity is. But as a human being, I was always felt I was limited. I was blocked by something. But there in the forest, I experienced something which is called immortality or infinity. When I experienced it, I was so happy and contented. I decided to share that wisdom with my fellow beings. Then I came out from the forest, discussed with my master about the future plans, and he gave me some guidance how to go back to material life from the loneliness to the chaotic world. So I came in, then I started sharing this thing, discussing the value of this wisdom with as many people as possible. Then everybody asked me, then how can we explore it? How we can be trained? Then I started the center called Intimacy. India is teaching everybody to listen within themselves. So here we have a good team, and people are coming from different parts of the world in search of the meaning of life and how to use mind as medicine. This
I
is
love
what
that.
we are doing. Yes.
That is, yeah. I mean, I took a look at your website before, and you have different retreats. It could be a 7-day, 21-day, 28-day, depending on what you're trying to make yourself better in. So, but you also do one-on-one sessions, right? Like you can schedule a Zoom call or an online call with you. Is that correct?
Yes, I am trying to make myself available for everybody. It's my the life mission. So here we organize packages like 7, 14, 21, and 28 days. But again, it is not a traditional belief system. It is really organized with our day-to-day life, scientifically codified. So if we want to complete a full cycle in our body needs 28 days because it is directly connected to the energy from the moon. And you may feel it is different, but actually anybody who is mentally a little disturbed, we call them, he's lunatic.
Yeah.
The place where they are taken care of, we call lunatic asylum. Then these people vulnerable to certain external situations, they will be little bit violent the full moon day. Mostly they will be silent in the new moon day. These are all, interest to see the reflections in nature.
Okay.
A lady who is healthy, having an active menstrual cycle, if we see the gap between two cycles, surprisingly 28 days. That means within the 28 days, in a healthy lady's body, the life will be made, prepared. If it is not being used within that time span, it will be discarded. The total setup will be expelled by the body, well in tune with the energy of moon.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, that is why here that 28 days divided into four parts. So first 7 days will be preparation for the patient or the client who is coming for a particular problem. So we'll prepare the person to get the treatment for 7 days. Then the second 7 days, there will be an introduction of mind and medicine to the body. Then third 7 days will be the processing time. So mind and body will be using and being in tune with the medicine and the mental disciplines. Then the last 7 days will be the concretization. It will be completely installed in the cell structure of the system. That is why usually in Ayurveda, people are using this 7 to 28 days.
Makes sense. So many people in the world are kind of struggling with sadness and loneliness and heartbreak, right? And why is this emotional pain kind of a powerful teacher for people? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Why not? Actually, all our emotions are a byproduct of our own hormones. It's very simple and scientific. What is the chemistry of anger? How you become angry? If somebody says something very bad about you, when you hear that, your eardrums will convert that sound waves into electromagnetic waves. It will go to the memory storage and analyze it. Then your human intelligence will come to a conclusion. This is not fair. It is against my prestige. That conclusion will trigger your adrenal gland. The adrenaline will be produced. And once adrenaline mixed in the blood, your liver will recognize it and the BP will shoot up. That means you are angry.
Yeah.
The adrenaline is the cause of your anger, not the words coming from outside. The same person next day can come to you saying sorry. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. You are a wonderful person. You did many things for the society. So all these things are good for our ego or our prestige. Then the intelligence will say that, it is making sense. It's good for me. That will trigger our pituitary gland, which will produce endorphins, happy hormones. Then you feel you're happy, goosebumps, everything. So everything, all emotions are a byproduct of our own action. Okay, so what we have to do, if you want to deal with a particular emotion which you don't want, learn the science behind it, the physiology behind it, and practice how to rectify or how to control that particular gland through the breath management. This is the secret of, I don't want to say secret. This is the technique of yoga. Yoga means connection. Connect your mind with the particular organ through the medium of breath. That is very, very simple and possible.
And do you help people learn how to do this the proper way?
Yes. I take from the tradition of India, like a 5,000, 10,000 years old tradition is there. I take from that and verify with the modern science, because in tradition or our traditional science, many exaggerations are there. Maybe unscientific claims are there. So I verify, then compare with the modern science. Once it blend each other, then I will put for my experience. I personally verify everything. Even a new medicine is coming to my center by a big company. I will go through the properties and everything, and the license, government is approved, everything is there. Then I will use it for myself. Then I observe carefully how the medicine is working and affecting in my mind and body. Once it is verified and approved, then I will allow my doctors to use it. So everything can be managed through the traditional acceptance, modern verification, and it should make sense to us. That is being provided to everybody. It's like an open book. Anybody can come, say, and experience.
Awesome. I love that. I think a lot of people get hurt by other people. And I wanted to ask you a question. How important is forgiving somebody and part of the healing process? How does somebody forgive somebody for hurting them?
Okay. Actually, we don't want to forgive anybody.
Okay.
Who we are to forgive others? This is a limited understanding about our own reality.
Okay.
There is a law of creation. Okay? That creation or that power to create things, we can label it in many things. The law of nature or the energy or the God or X or Y, label it. But there is a cosmic balance in everything. And that balance or the source, our mind cannot understand. It is beyond our senses and the limit of our mind. So, see the thumb impression. I have a thumb impression. I have never seen somebody in the world with my own thumb impression.
Yeah.
That means I am unique.
Yeah.
Everybody is unique in this nature. If somebody says something to me, if I am hurt, means it's my weakness. Like viruses, bacteria, many microorganisms are there in nature. It's an essential part of creation. And why I am affected by a virus? Instead of being angry with the virus, feeling that virus attacked me, I should blame myself first. Hey, your immunity is low. That is why the virus could affect me. Instead of being hurt, I should look at myself and enhance my immunity. When I enhance my immunity, I can accept that virus as one of my fellow beings.
Okay.
Yes. If I feel somebody is hurting me, instead of forgiving that person, I should improve my energy and my position to hug him.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the best way. That is the spirit of winning. Actually, we have to win each and every thought. We must be a winner, not a loser. It should be created from within. That's our own attitude. Always look forward towards light. Never put yourself into darkness.
I love that. That is amazing. Yeah, that's not how most people think. And I think it's a great lesson for people.
Yes, this is what we have to practice for ourselves and propagate for everybody.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people kind of misunderstand about love and relationships, and they don't know, they get stuck in a relationship and they don't know when it's over or when it is over and it ends badly and they're sad or whatever the case may be. What do you kind of help people? How do you guide people to kind of come out of that sadness or that bad relationship or mistakes they made in the relationship? What do you do to kind of help somebody for that?
As I told you, the sadness or the lost feeling, all are being developed from within. External things are there. We cannot change the external world, but we can change within ourselves. We can change the attitude. So relationships are in trouble because it becomes conditional. That is the problem. Relationship should be unconditional. When I deal with my partner, I should not get into only documents or socially made rules and regulations. There must be an unconditional approach. If I love myself, I should love my partner also. But when I love myself, how can I be conditional? When I am hungry, I want to eat. My partner, when she is hungry, she has to eat. Then all emotions are like that, or enjoyments are like that. So I should be able to assess myself. That is what is called introspection. Philosophically, we say meditation. Look inside. When we look inside, we can go beyond the domain or the dimension of matter, then we can see the nuances of our mind. Through that, we can go beyond the mind, pure energy. When we reach that level through practice, when I look at my partner, my awareness can go beyond the matter and mind level. There, certain kind of unity will be experienced. Earlier, thousands of years ago, all our masters explained about the energy unification. But people thought it's a primitive belief or a false claim. But now, with ultra-modern equipments like a Kirlian camera or biophoton camera, we can read the energy exchange of two people, two persons. And if they are in good condition and they love each other, we can see a harmonized energy flow. If they hate themselves or hate each other, you can see the disturbance in the vibration in the camera.
Yeah.
So, whatever ancient masters experienced through their sharp and focused mind, now we can make it possible through the sophisticated equipments. But what all are these equipments and minds are trying to express and explain the subtle realities of our existence. When we reach to that dimension, when we know more about ourselves, our interaction, our relationships will be more than the material documented level. That is what is called unconditional love. Jesus Christ, it's always propounded that learn, practice unconditional love. The love beyond judgments and the material level. This should be practiced. Then in front of that person, nothing is impossible, and we can experience something which is beyond the limited explanation.
Okay. And, a lot of people struggle with families. They're not accepted by their families, let's say. And it's a big deal, in certain communities where their family just won't accept who they are. What's kind of your guidance that you would offer to them to get it to be accepted or to accept that they're not accepted? Like, what would you tell them?
I never advise anybody to wait for others' acceptance. Right from my childhood, I was not looking for somebody's mercy or somebody's approval, because I felt I should be strong enough to walk on my legs. Yes, as a child, I had gone through many challenges, but I couldn't, leave it. Now, I can say when I was in the forest, around 4.5 years, even now many people ask, Guruji, what you have been eating? How you were surviving? How you were navigating? I said, say, I saw countless species over there, reptiles, birds, animals, everything. They were having their own way of, management. They were self-sufficient. So why human beings are waiting for others' approval? Because we are the slaves. We became the slaves of our intellect, limited intellect. From that limited intellect, learn to look inside the instinct. Man is nothing but a social animal. But unfortunately, we lost the animal instinct. We are born in this nature with the real potential. Explore the potential, and we will never wait for someone else's acceptance. On the other hand, we will be available for others. See, like if I have lot of money, good savings in my bank, I'm not bothered about money. I'm not waiting for someone else, contribution. But I'm ready to contribute something for the needy. Same way, we should know the real potential of our own self. Once we feel that I am not a small mortal being, in essence, I am the infinite energy, the omnipotent energy. Once I have that abundance of energy within me, I will not wait for someone else's acceptance, but I can be available for others. If everybody becomes powerful as this, infinitely powerful, what is the need of support? Everybody is capable of managing by themselves. Then instead of waiting for a support, we will comfortably, happily start associating with. This is what we can practice.
Do you have kind of daily practices that you would be able to kind of teach people to make their life better? So if somebody set up time with you and they didn't come to one of your, 7, 14, 21, 28 day workshops, but they scheduled time with you, could you kind of help them create those daily practices to become that person, that better person?
Of course, this is what I am doing. People are coming to me with many problems. Some are coming with serious diseases, physical diseases. Some are coming with mental disturbances.
Yeah.
Some are coming with spiritual confusions. So I am training them with different helps. Of course, I have doctors, Ayurveda doctors, Siddha doctors, and Homeo doctors. Mm-hmm. So whatever is applicable and suitable for them, I assess and find out. Then I train them. So from within, as individuals, they have to do their own preparations. Then the other teams will support the person. So a training and treatment will be integrated within the span of time. First, they will get the relief from the existing problem. Then they will be trained to maintain that condition and enhance the immunity wherever they are. When they leave the place, they will be well trained to manage by themselves.
I love that. So one of the things I want to kind of go back to is you talked about the spirituality. So people that have kind of felt disconnected from spirituality, where do you kind of begin to help them get back to that? Is that a long road for them to get back, or could you teach somebody that pretty quickly?
It's very simple. Unfortunately, the word spirit is very much distorted in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Some they demonized it, some exaggerated it. So that's why people are a bit skeptical about the word spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
That is something which we don't know. In pure science, we can say that is energy. Nobody knows what energy is.
Yeah.
But when energy manifests, we can label it. Kinetic energy, potential energy, mechanical energy, light energy, sound energy, so like that. So what we have to do is be scientific and practical. Be away from the preoccupied notions regarding spirituality. Just for example, if I keep a glass of water in front of you, it's water.
Yeah.
But if you just focus on that and want to know the molecules in the water from which water is evolved, then you'll say, oh, it's two gases, hydrogen and oxygen, merge each other to form water.
Mm-hmm.
Correct now. So the reality behind water is hydrogen and oxygen. Or if we take hydrogen and oxygen, two gases, make a union. When they merge each other, both will die, then water will be born.
Yeah.
So they are exchanging the state of existence. Same way, we have mind. We know, everybody knows, I have a mind and I have a body. So mind and body make my life active.
Yeah.
If I make a deliberate effort to unite themselves, mind and body should be connected to each other, which is called yoga or religion. See, spirituality is mostly connected to religion.
Yes.
The word religion derived from a Latin word religare, which means union, yoke. So, when we make a union between mind and body, both will lose their identity, and a third reality will be evolved from that, which is beyond our intellect, incomprehensible reality or experience called spirit. Be very, very, very simple and scientific.
Yeah.
Put at least spend 24 minutes a day. We have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Take 1 minute from each hour and spend it for looking inside. Bring your mind back from external objects and try to focus inside. Then, gradually, through that practice, the mind and matter will start merging each other. Once that union takes place beyond certain limit, then a third reality, which will be evolved from within, which is called liberation. We are entangled into mentally, physically codified things. So once we make this union, both will lose their identity and we will be liberated from that entanglements, which is called freedom. It is not a rocket science. It's very simple as our breathing. Everybody can practice it, but it is beyond all kinds of explanations or exaggerations or interpretations. It is 100% personal.
So when you say 1 minute out of every 24 hours, can you do the whole 24 minutes at once and almost do like a meditation? Is that the best way to practice that?
Yes.
Okay.
Either morning or evening, find a comfortable time to sit in a calm and quiet place, separated from all other disturbances. It's like prayer.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
why everybody is asked to go to the temple or church or mosque to take prayer. There is no God sitting somewhere for receiving your, worries and your applications, your requests and beggings. No God is sitting there. But it is taught everybody. Prayer, English word derived from prarthana in Sanskrit. Prana is the life energy in Sanskrit. So once prana is enhanced, you are healthy. Pranic level goes down, you are unhealthy. Once prana is gone from your body, you are gone. You are dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like that. So you have to, arthana means attain. Get your natural energy. The energy is everywhere. It is infinity. So gain it. That gaining of energy, according to your requirement, is called prana arthana or prarthana in Sanskrit. Then in English, it is called prayer.
Yeah.
So it is mandatory and essential for everybody to shut our mind or withdraw our mind from external wanderings and focus inside for a better understanding along with the enhancement of immunity. So if you don't want to think that I'm meditating, just feel that I'm doing my prayer.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I have to say, whenever I meditate, whenever I do it, I feel like I'm such a better person. I feel so much better. I just have to get into the practice of doing it every day. And I have to make the time for it. That's my problem but when I do it, I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. And I feel like my day's better. Everything goes better. And I just got to make it part of my daily ritual.
Yes, everybody should do it.
Yeah.
See, like once you are hungry, no one else can eat for you.
Yeah.
You have to eat. If you have a disease, no one else can eat medicine for you.
Yeah.
You have to eat. Same way, the problems which you are facing is your own problem. If you want to rectify, you have to meditate. No one else can do for yourself. Find time at any cost, find at least 24 minutes for this purpose.
That's amazing. I have a question for you that you've talked about openly, and I think a lot of people think about this more today. I think people are more open-minded about what happens when you die. Because I think before, people, especially in the United States and the Christian religion, thinks if you're a good person, you go to heaven. If you're a bad person, you go to hell. They have these thoughts. I don't personally believe that, but I would love to know what you think happens whenever we die.
Actually, people speak about heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen somebody who had gone to heaven and came back?
No.
I have never seen anybody.
No.
Only an imagination.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what I was also searching for. When I was at the age of 25, I came to know my body was showing some kind of uneasiness, which was actually handled by applying some steroids. I was allergic. I was using my body, the overindulgence of the system put me into big trouble. There I came to know I was going to die or I was going to fall sick. I was not ready to be defeated like that. Mm-hmm. Even death, I wanted to know what is after death. That is why I came back to India from Middle East. I was having a colorful life there. I left everything, came back to India. I became a monk. Then I wandered all over India in search of an experienced guru who could teach me the technique. Finally, I found a master after 9 months of continuous search, and he showed me the way how to go beyond your senses, or you can create that. If you want to experience, or if you want to know what is after death, you must die. Can you believe? We can
Makes
create.
Sense.
Yeah, we can create death. Simple logic. If you are not breathing more than 2.5 minutes, your brain will stop. Brain death will happen. Mm-hmm. More than 3 minutes, breath is arrested, heart will stop, as far as science, modern science is concerned. Mm-hmm. But I have seen people could hold the breath more than 5 minutes through practice. If you want, you can check. There is a section called Sea Nomads. It's a tribal guide. We can see them in Indonesia and Malaysia, the coastal area. And they're like traditional fishermen. They will go underwater without any equipment. And they can be underwater now, as per the world record, 13 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, why are they not dying? Practice. Daily practice.
Okay.
So, when I was taught this, and it was explained how you have to improve the breath capacity. It's called pranayama in Sanskrit. Prana is the breath power. Mm-hmm. Ayama means extension. So, practice in a regular basis with some support of an experienced person. Mm-hmm. Then once you reach to 2.5 minutes, then you can stop breathing. That is called stambhana, retention of breath. Then you stop your breath more than 3 to 5 minutes. You can see the process of death within you. You will become a witness of your death. The moment you become aware of the function or the secret or the technique of death, you are becoming immortal. There you will come to know what will happen to you after you leave the body.
Okay.
If you can create consciously, that is what is called in India, Suryana. Surya means sun, the path towards light. In Buddhism, it's called Mahayana. So if you are not dying consciously, you will fall into darkness, which is called Adhoyana, or the journey to darkness.
Okay.
When you die naturally, you are falling into darkness, you know nothing. But if you create a death consciously, you are going to the domain of light. That means enlightenment. Mm-hmm. There you will come to know what is hell, what is heaven, what will happen after you leave the body, what is the alpha, beta, gamma, theta vibration or the frequencies of your mind. Everything will be crystal clear for that person. Yeah. Then no more doubt or confusion about the journey of life.
Do you think we come back after we do die as reincarnation? Do you believe in that?
When we die, for an ordinary person, he feels that he is going somewhere and coming back. The person who is dying consciously, he is not going anywhere. If you are not going anywhere, you cannot come back. The going and coming is happening in the plane of consciousness, our mind.
Okay.
When we go beyond the plane of consciousness, ordinary consciousness, even technically speaking, we have 6 planes of consciousness. Now we are talking each other. because we have a same frequency through which we can interact, we can exchange our ideas.
Mhm.
But if I fall asleep, and before I fall asleep, there is a middle area called the subconscious mind, dream state. So if I draw a line like this, one step down is subconscious level dream. One more step down, I will fall asleep, is sushupti, unconscious state. But from that middle level, if I raise my mind to a different height through practice, it will be almost same as the dream state. But that is called tantra or transcendental, which is similar to dream. From that level, if I am trained, I can take it to one more step called turiya in Sanskrit, which is super conscious level. So it's even possible for everybody to experience these 6 dimensions.
Okay.
But if you practice more and more, you can go to different dimensions. Technically, we can say in all over India, these masters are explaining about 14 dimensions of our consciousness. Yes. And personally, I can say I already experienced more than 8 dimensions.
Wow.
It's practice.
Yeah.
It's practice.
I think that the biggest thing, so for me, whenever my problem that I have is that whenever I lay down at night to try to go to sleep, I can't calm my mind. I can't stop thinking. I can't, I get, I start thinking of things I need to do or things I didn't do. And I replay the day in my head. I'm assuming that you would be able to come in and help somebody calm themselves and calm their mind and have a more peaceful life or at least a peaceful sleep. Is that true?
See, everything is happening within ourselves. Even what is sleep? Sleep is a hormone.
Yeah.
It's the effect of a hormone. When serotonin is a hormone which is influencing our dream, our sleep. So once the serotonin level is high, you feel sleepy. Once it is going down, dopamines are going high, then you are awakened. So if you know how to balance your breath through the medium of breath, you just get control over the hormonal productions, then sleep is under your control. It's not coming from outside. Actually, it is being processed within ourselves. Know this machine. This is nothing but a machine made by nature. So when we buy a new car or a computer, you will get this owner's manual. You have to study it. Based on that instructions, you have to operate the machine. You have to maintain it. But how many people know the owner's manual of this machine? Fuel should be put in. Air breather is there. Then 37.3 degrees centigrade. Each and every cell is having a spark plug inside. So there is a piston and there is a circulation for cleaning the system. Exhaust pipes are there. So it's a machine made by nature. So as we maintain our new car or a computer, you have to take it for periodical service. And daily service should be done. So daily service means we have to meditate every day. Then periodical service means we have to meet somebody who had done in-depth studies of this machine. We call them gurus. So what I am suggesting you is just put an effort to know more about our own mechanism. Just 24 minutes spend every day. Then you will come to know how to manage your hormones, how to manage your blood circulation, how to manage the fat level, the vitamin level. Everything will be derived from within or be informed from within like an animal. Have you ever seen an animal who is living in the forest going to a veterinary doctor for getting a pill for its disease?
No.
It knows.
Yeah.
When a problem comes, internally it will come to know. Even a tiger, a problem is there. It will stop eating. I mean, technically, that animal is fasting. 1 or 2 or 3 days, this guy will fast. Then it will go walk somewhere, search. You can see, sometimes the tiger will eat the grass. or it will go to a particular tree and eat the bark of the tree. What does it mean? That time, Mother Nature or its instinct is advising that animal about the medicine.
Yeah.
So we all are having that capacity, instinctive impulses. Technically speaking, we ignored it. In the body and mind, once a particular source or mechanism is not used more than certain period, it will become dormant. So we are having this trouble. Our instinct became dormant because we are depending only on intellect.
Mm.
Unfortunately, intellect is managing only 5% of our total potential. 95% is completely ignored because that is in the instinctive plane. Mm-hmm. Why? Our masters advised everybody to sit at least 24 minutes to explore this hidden potential. Make use of it. Then all our doubts, questions will be vanished. It's like when we see a room, there is no light, and we don't know what is inside. Somebody said there is a ghost inside. Somebody said snakes are there. So we are scared because it's dark. If you want to remove that confusion and fear, bring a light. Just light a lamp. Once it is lit up, darkness is vanished. Then questions and the fears, everything is vanished. Same way, we have many confusions from within because there is no light within. So try to focus the mind inside, then it will start shining. It will illumine. Then these questions will be completely answered and understood properly.
That's amazing. Before we end our session, I just wanted to give the audience an idea of some of the things that you help with, or that you could help them with. So, autoimmune disease healing. You can help with skin and beauty care, weight loss treatments, rehabilitation, cancer care, detoxification of stress relief. I mean, joint health. There's so many things that you could help people. And just based on our short conversation, it sounds like we just don't know our bodies and we don't know how to do the things to help ourselves. And you could help with these things. And I'm just going to say for myself, I'm going to sign up for your online to meet with you online because I would learn how to do the breath work and learn how to quiet myself at nighttime. And that's my main thing that I would love help with. And so you'll see me in the future because I'm going to schedule some time with you. And, I think what you've done with your life and what you're sharing your knowledge is so amazing. I don't know if you ever take a step back sometimes and you look at what you have done for people. And I don't know, and if you, hopefully you do this, but do you ever step back and say, wow, I've helped all these people. I've made their lives better. I've improved their lives. I've made them a better person. I've helped them and helped their families. Do you ever take a moment to think, to think how great you are for all the things that you've done?
Never.
You should. You've done some great things for people. That's amazing what you've done.
No, because let me ask you a question. I have seen legends in front of me. Sun is rising. Do you think that sun is thinking that I am giving my energy to the whole solar system and everything is using my energy? No. The beauty of the sun is to shine. That's all. It's not bothered about how the energy is being used. Yes, when the sun rays are falling on a lotus, it's blossoming up, beautiful flower. But sometimes, most of the time, microorganisms are dying. Who cares? The duty of the sun is to shine. My duty is to explore myself, to connect myself with the infinity. The spiritual light should be explored. And I would like to shine as much as I can. Yeah. I'm not bothered how many are getting it and using it. Some people will come and say, oh, you are simply exaggerating things. I say, thank you very much. I am not bothered. Some people say, oh, Guruji, you are one of the best in the world. I say, thank you very much. You know why? If you are carried away with the joyful things, you failed in your mission. But if you are affected by blamings, you are failed. This is what is called, there is a popular name called Swami in India. Swami means a person who can handle everything, sama. Sama means equality, equilibrium, equal. So whether it is pleasure or pain, gain or loss, or blaming or praising, we have to consider it as same, equally. That is what is our purpose of getting into meditation. Through that technique only, you will experience ecstasy or contentment. The ultimate aim of our life is being contented. That is what we have to achieve.
I still think you're amazing. You're really. I think what you're doing is fascinating, and I think it's just really great. And I'm really glad I got a chance to talk with you. I will put your website in the description of this podcast or video. I would love everybody to go and take a look. Think about doing one of the retreats if you can. If not, schedule a time with Guruji. As you can see from this interview, he's at a different level, and he's really, I think you're amazing, and I'm really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk about what you learned and talk about who you are.
Thank you very much for your appreciation. You know why you appreciate it? Because you have the quality to recognize what I am telling.
Yeah.
So, yes. So that is your privilege and your quality. Enhance it and explore it and try to share with others.
Yeah.
That is what we can do.
Well, thank you so much for being on. You were an amazing guest. And I will, again, I hope everybody goes and checks out your website and reaches out. So thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you being on the show. You were a fantastic guest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to see you again.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day or good night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.